We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Anybody like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, very good. Thank you, Mark.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, to start tonight, we have highlights from both Klondike and Elementary and Middle School. So, Mr. Peters and Deb Carter, Mrs. Carter.
Yep. Right. So while they're coming up to the mic, just to kind of introduce, as you know, we've been cohabitating for the last year plus, and we'll continue to do that until hopefully sometime this summer or early fall. And so while that's had some challenges sharing a facility, it's also led to some really cool partnerships and some really neat things where we've been able to do together between the contacts. So, Ginger and Angela are our counselors, and they're going to talk with you about a joint career fair that we're going to be putting on this year.
Okay, so I am Angela Bigler, and I am the proud counselor at Klondike Middle School. And I have loved the opportunity having the two buildings together. I think it has, even though it's been crowded, Ginger and I have formed a nice partnership and a friendship that has been a really good thing out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm Ginger Clark, and I'm the counselor for the intermediate school at Klondike.
Okay, so we are here to talk to you guys tonight about a career fair that we have planned. And we started talking about this towards the end of the school year last year. And it kind of came together over the summer. We met with some colleagues or got information from some of our colleagues at LSC about putting a career fair together. And we were in the middle of doing this year, and Bethany reached out to us from Junior Achievement and said, we would like to partner with you on this. And so it's been kind of a really cool experience being able to partner with the community. We are wanting to bridge between, like, our sixth grade does BizTown, where they go to the Junior Achievement facility and they do BizTown. And then our eighth grade does Finance Park. And there's not really any opportunity for our seventh graders to do anything in between there. And so we were like, we should host a career fair and give our seventh graders an opportunity to have that bridge experience. And then we are going to have the fourth and fifth graders join us as well, so that they can work up to what the sixth grade does, and then career fair seventh grade, and then eighth grade Finance Park.
Okay. Junior Achievement has shared a lot of information with us. And so their curriculum, I guess you would say, is that they introduce students to real-world career paths, inspire curiosity about future opportunities, connect education to career readiness, and engage local volunteers and community leaders, which the last slide we have here, I think we're almost 30. I think
Yeah,
we have
we've got quite a few people
we have
coming.
about 30 vendors coming so far. And so I, as a former high school counselor, just and still keeping an eye on all the requirements from the state that come down for high school graduation, I feel like it's more important than ever to help build that career awareness in the elementary and intermediate school. And then as they go on to middle school, being able to just build on that, because by the time they're in eighth grade, they got to hit the ground running with choosing their pathways and SEALs and all that stuff. So, okay.
Okay, so the way this is going to work for us is our career fair is planned for February 4th, 2026, and we are going to host it in the main gym at KIS KMS. And on the 28th, which is the week before, we have volunteers coming to speak to our 5 seventh grade classrooms, and they're going to get them ready for the career fair. It's going to launch it, and they're going to be talking to them about, what do you want to get out of the day, things like that. And then after my kids, or after the Klondike Middle School kids get done going through the fair, then they'll have a reflection with those same volunteers as well. And that leaves time for the vendors to eat lunch, and then for our fourth and fifth graders to slip in and go in the afternoon.
Yeah. I will be doing the prep work for the fourth and fifth grades. And then after the fair, their teachers are going to do some post-fair activities, including writing thank you letters and things like that to the vendors. So.
Okay, so like I said, on our pre-fair activities, they're going to work with our students from 11:07 to 11:51 on January 28th. And basically, they're going to be talking to the kids, what do you hope to get out of the day? How are you going to present yourself? How are you going to, what are the types of questions you're going to be asking? How are you going to plan your day? And then during Nugget time, we'll do part 2, which is JA Here to Career, which is, I believe that is it's a Holland Code. I just lost my brain. It's an assessment, yeah, and it's an interest inventory where the kids will be able to link their Holland Code results to a career, which will directly line up with like the stuff we've got going on at the GLCA and stuff like that. I'm also a former high school counselor, and so that kind of stuff is very, very important, making sure that those kids can pick those classes that they want and get the most out of them. So the day of the fair, we will have our people coming in, and we've been trying to work out the logistics with the buses and the parent drop-off, and we think we've got that worked out, right?
I think so.
And so the 7th grade will kick off in the gym with a keynote speaker. That person is going to speak to them, getting them pumped up and ready to go from 9:35 to 9:55. And then they will get 15-minute intervals with the speakers. 3 of the speakers have to match their Holland Code. And so they're going to be looking at, and I will be looking at their Holland Code results and assigning them to different vendors. And then speaker number 4 is free choice. They can go to whoever they want. They will have questions to ask, things to fill out, that kind of stuff. And then in the afternoon, well, I guess it's not afternoon, but from 11:20 to 11:55, they will do a reflection activity and then go ahead and start their personal career action plan. And then with that, I will be able to use that the next year when they're 8th graders and be able to implement that and help them schedule those classes for the GLCA, work that into their prepping for colleges and careers courses, and make sure that we can schedule those high school classes to help them get into exploring and doing what they need to do to become successful adults.
4th and 5th grade, be similar, a few different things. The pre-fair activities are going to take place the last 2 weeks of January. I'll be going into classrooms for my classroom lessons that I do. They have 2 that we will complete, my favorite things, which is they're going to be listing their interests, basically. And then the look at what you can become is kind of a matching activity, finding descriptions and a word match kind of thing. And then there's an extra activity they can do, a career comic strip they can make on their own of their favorite career, themselves and their favorite career. We'll also be talking about at that pre-fair meetings that I have with them about what their expectations are. They have a sheet in the workbook they're getting that has sample questions they can ask the vendors. We want them to be very interactive with the vendors and showing their interest in things like that. And so our keynote speaker is going to be 15 minutes, and then they will rotate through 4 speakers, through 4 vendors as well. In talking with the 4th and 5th grade teachers, they did not want to let them have free choice. They said, no, we're going to assign them all. And so so they're helping me with that process of getting the students assigned, just so we can make sure all the vendors are being visited and getting participation. 5th grade, that's the 5th grade one, same kind of thing. 4th grade will be from noon to 1 approximately, and then 5th grade will be from 1 to 2, same kind of format. And then the post-fair, they'd make a short little resume about themselves, and then they're introduced to some information about what to expect at a job someday, and then we're going to ask them to write thank you letters to vendors.
And that will pop right into what they do as 6th graders with the BizTown, because when they go to BizTown for JA, they work jobs, and they learn all about the business world and the things that you do in the business world. And then we'll have a really nice scope and sequence going on, because they'll do that in 4th, 5th grade. 6th grade, they'll do the BizTown activity, which will give them some career interests. They'll gain even more individual interests as 7th graders. And then, like I said, by the time they get to be in 8th grade, they will be ready to tackle the world.
That's right.
Volunteer opportunities. And so we have lots of volunteers coming in. And this is a part where Bethany has been incredibly helpful with us. She has, it was kind of nice because we were, what would you say, like midway through planning. And then Bethany found out about it and she was like, ooh, JA would love to help you with that. And so they have been able to give us like some curriculum materials. We had about 20 vendors and now we've got more.
We've got
and
about 30 now.
Yeah, she's getting the vendors to come, the 5 volunteers to come speak on the 28th at the middle school for us. And so do you have all of your volunteers or are we asking for volunteers? We are very close, so if you know of anybody that wants to volunteer and get into the middle school and into KIS and work with our kids, we can give you information to get a hold of Bethany. We have 35 vendors is what we were looking for, and when we made this, we had 19, but now we've got more.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
close to 30, yeah. Lunch is gonna be paid for by Junior Achievement, and they're getting lunch from the GLCA Culinary Arts Department. They're gonna pay for all the vendors, for Angela and I, any educators that come and help out, probably admin. Yeah, so they're gonna provide lunch for all of us. And then we just have our contact information there if anybody has any questions. Again, Bethany Martin has been invaluable helping us through Junior Achievement. I don't know that we would have been able to do it otherwise. So, and then this is some of the vendors that we currently have. The West Lafayette Mayor is going to come. IU Health is sending someone from cybersecurity. There's several different healthcare that are coming. A couple different police officers, the architect who worked at on the Klondike building. Which one did she work? The elementary.
The elementary and intermediate.
She did both. Okay, yeah, she's doing. Whoops. She's doing both. I don't know what I just did.
We have a lot of parents coming. I hit a lot of people up at parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah.
And asked them if they would be willing to come and speak with us. So we've got a lot of parents coming that are going to be helping us out.
We have an air traffic controller.
Yep, we just got that
I
today.
just got a firefighter,
Yep.
so I'm excited about that. So.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions?
So this program, if I might have missed this, but this is the only one like this, right? This isn't something that happens in our other junior highs and elementaries in a collaboration. This is only at Klondike, and it only happened because you guys were in the same building all of a sudden and started brainstorming, right?
I think so. Like, we both know Kim Weston is a counselor at Murdoch Elementary, and she does one every year for kindergarten through 4th grade. And so I had all of her like notes and information on how she does it, and I've been wanting to do one. And then, yeah, when we moved into the building together, I was talking to Angela about it, and she was like, I want to do that too. So,
Yeah,
Well,
my
I
professional
think-
goal is to boost the career activities at Klondike, and so this was a perfect way to help me achieve that.
I think it'd be great to hear the results of it, to be honest with you, because this is something that we should think about, involving, or maybe you guys with your colleagues at other elementaries and junior highs that start put the programs in place there as well, because, this is invaluable, I think, for kids to have their eyes open and
yeah,
see
for
things.
sure.
And,
For sure.
I'm happy to personally volunteer, to be honest with you, so
Oh, good.
reach out. But,
Okay.
when I was a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist, and then I realized there was biology, and I lived in Indiana, and there were no dolphins, so I didn't do that. So it's very good. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Any
you
other
for
questions?
collaboration. No, great job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And you're welcome to take off or stay or whatever you want to do for the rest of the meeting, so.
Thanks for coming,
Yeah,
Klondike.
thank you very much. Patron comments tonight? There are none. Okay, we went through the minutes during our other portion of the meeting. Superintendent's report?
Yeah, if you have my report, we talked about the teacher appreciation grant. Do you have any feedback from the legislative breakfast on Saturday? Did you like the format? I thought it was nice to be here. That was much more convenient for Pamela and myself, and just the setup, the technology, the microphones worked. Any questions, thoughts, comments?
It was a lively discussion.
Mhm.
It really was.
think it's one of the better audience participation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked also how you had the focus on two basic areas instead of leaving it totally open. I know I went up and talked with Matt Commons afterwards about another bill that had passed, but regardless, I mean, I felt like you had such a wide range of people giving their input, the business sector, parents, students. I mean, it was great.
Yeah. Good. We've been doing it for a long time, so I didn't mean to call out Mr. Burton during the meeting, but it's been a number of years.
Yeah.
I mean, we're guessing like 1998, 97 even. Do you remember it then?
Probably, yeah.
We were trying to talk about that. Dr. Fraley, I think it's been, could be almost 30 years, 25 to 30 years. That's a good event. Update from the middle school athletic side of things. The middle school principals have proposed to make cross-country a sport. We talked to you about that when we bargained the teacher contract. They're getting ready to put that information into their middle school athletic handbook. I didn't attach this for you, but this is what, governs all the middle school sports. The unusual aspect is sixth graders will be eligible to participate. We added, because normally middle school interscholastic athletics starts seventh and eighth grade, and about 8 or 9 years ago, we agreed to allow sixth graders to wrestle because it gets them participating. They wrestle by weight classes, so you don't have that competitive edge per se of, big kid, small kid. It's by the weight class, so that has worked out well. And the principals think the cross country would be the same way because they run a meet together. So there's a boys meet of all 6, 7, 8. There's a girls meet of all 6, 7, 8. They're not looking to expand sixth grade sports into other areas. This doesn't count for track. Track is still 7th and 8th grade. So I just want to make you aware that this is really popular. Our TSC Parent Council, we had a couple parents on there who were appreciative. They've all been running clubs, and so it's not an additional expense for us because we were already issuing a stipend for intramurals. They're all just choosing to make that intramural stipend the stipend for cross country. So any thoughts? This isn't an action item. It's just more like I just want you to know that the middle school principals are getting ready to institute that. I'll let you know about the update for the Sagamore Athletic Conference. Lebanon is leaving. I sent you a note about that. I don't have any more information about that. I don't know what your thoughts are about that. You can call me or speak them later. I think we're just in a waiting game and see if we can recruit more schools to come into the Sagamore for 27-28. They leave after the 26-27 school year. Winter break dates. Winter commencement, Saturday, January 10th. Hopefully you have that on your calendar. I think Mr. Boo will probably email you soon and ask you for your RSVP situation. So that's Saturday, January 10th. We're at 4 o'clock at Loeb, Purdue's Loeb. It's time to think about 2026 school board meetings. So unless you object, Pamela and I will just take the comparable dates for 2026. The change we made last year was the July meeting is at 4 o'clock. Remember, we don't have work session, we don't have exec, but we moved the July regular meeting to 4 o'clock. We liked it from our perspective. I think you guys probably liked it as well from the board perspective. So we'll do that again. We'll have to choose committee assignments. So there's a paper coming down for you. This is the committee assignments that you're currently assigned to. This is a board action. Your president assigns board members to committees. So currently that's Josh after a reorganization meeting. If you elect a new president,
all committees to one board member?
Well, I think the president has a lot of latitude in assigning committees.
There you go, Jake.
So let me know, so look at this, and we'll make changes on a draft and present that to you at your January reorganization meeting. Like Will, for example, Glass Governing Board will be obsolete.
Right.
Jake, I think you kind of got thrown into the legislative liaison at the last minute. I don't know if you want to keep doing that. So
No.
no, you guys need to decide. I think you need to get that information to Josh or whoever you think your new president is going to be, and then just let me know, and I can revise this and present it to you for action later. Moving on, couple dates for your calendar. ISBA appreciated TSC hosting the Region 4 dinner, and they asked us to host in 2026. We said yes. So if you want to put those dates on your calendar, April 6th and November 2nd, those would be the spring and fall Region 4 meetings to be held at TSC. Take a look at the exciting news, some amazing awards there. Dr. Patel at McCutcheon, she went to Denver to receive that award, Teaching Excellence Award. Spellbow team, some high school students are on this USA Women's Unified thing. I hadn't even heard about that, but this is a big deal, like World Cup in Puerto Rico. I think it's a partnership with Purdue. I read a little bit about that, so that's pretty cool that some of our McCutcheon kids are participating in that. And then one last piece of information. I probably don't share these with you often enough, and maybe I make it my New Year's resolution, but this is an example of just, we hear a lot of negative feedback. We hear a lot of complaints. Nobody ever calls Devin Arms and says, thank you, the internet is working. But when the internet doesn't work, guess what? So this was a positive that a parent sent me just out of the blue. I have thanked our driver directly, but I want to share with you how grateful I am for Mr. Jake Keers. My son has always said positive things about his bus driver. Today sealed the deal for me. As my son was preparing to exit the bus this afternoon, Jake told him to wait. Luckily, he was paying close attention because a vehicle was about ready to run the stop arm. Jake noticed the car might not be slowing down, grabbed the arm of her son. I know it's his job to pay attention, but I also know that bus drivers don't always get the recognition they deserve. Jake keeps my son safe every day, and today was no exception. Isn't that amazing? There is good out there, and we need to focus more on the positives. We hear the complaints, but now you can retell that story about how amazing our bus drivers are and what they do. So thank you for letting me share that. And I think that is all I have in my report.
That is awesome. Any questions about superintendent's report? Okay, thank you. Ms. Brackett, financial report.
Yeah, first item tonight is the accounts payable register totaling $47.8 million. This is a rather large one, but our December one typically is. It includes our bond payments, our semi-annual bond payments. It also includes our Glass tuition payment, as well as the West Lafayette tuition payment. Other claims are the normal routine items such as construction, utility, payroll, and so on and so forth. The second item is the financial report, and this month our funds balance is $92.8 million, so we are on track to finish the year where I expect to be finishing. The other item I did want to pass off is we did receive our tax levy, approved and certified tax levy for 2026. We got it actually very early this year. We usually get it at the end of December, and we actually got it a week before November was up. So our tax rate is 89.73 cents.
Sorry, I just noticed.
Sorry. Our tax rate's 89.73 cents. No changes in the tax rate for next year. Total budget of approximately $207 million. So that's my financial report for the month.
Now you got to redo it for the microphone.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions? No. Okay. Dr. Fraley?
Yes, Mr. Wu and I have attached the staff development report, field trip requests, and then there's some new course material that we would seek your approval for.
Thank you, and I assume personnel report.
Yep,
you'll take.
recommend approve as presented, personnel report, including the addendum, and as well as the supplemental personnel report. Everything's in order, recommend approval.
Okay. And then board department, we had Devin Arms. Board council is here this evening. You have anything, sir?
I'm glad to be back and see you guys. I
Yeah.
love this new space. I don't have anything specific to report at this time, but I do have a couple action items.
Okay. And then board committees. All right, with that, can we get a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Burton,
Second.
second by Sondergrath. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, that will pass. On to old business, we had that during work session only. For new business, permission to pay late December claims.
Yeah, this evening, I am requesting permission to pay any remaining 2025 invoices that we received prior to the year end. Typically, on a month-to-month basis, we don't pay those until after you approve them. At this point, this is a routine item. I'm asking permission to pay those ahead of time, and then I'll seek retroactive approval in January.
So with that, can we get a motion to approve the payment of late December claims?
So moved.
Moved by Keckler,
Second.
second by Cummings, or Harper, either one. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Next was board policy revision discussion, which is not an action item, correct?
Correct. But I do want to call your attention to the recommended revisions. We will consider action at the next month. I want to especially point out bylaw 0142, election and eligibility to serve. Remember, there were some changes to the law. You can be 18 now and run for the school board. Our policy, had been the previous law of 21. And then, one of the big changes is the partisan school board elections. So I think Holly and Will
We'll be the first ones.
and Josh, you'll be the first to experience this. On your petition, you will have to select one of three options, either declare a party, declare independent, or you can state that I choose not to declare. And, you're not running as an independent, you're not running as an R&D, you're just stating on your position, I choose not to declare. So you'll see that when you file your petitions for this next year. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. Everything else is pretty routine. We've got some citations with respect to glass that we need to eliminate. We are removing some of the statutory categories for staff evaluation. We no longer put them in buckets, highly effective, effective. We're deleting our tag policy. The old law said that you shall have a policy. The law does not require a policy. We don't want a policy on this. You heard the presentation. The law says you can opt in to give this money. We're doing that. You heard the presentation from Dr. Allison on how we want to get that money to our teacher. That's not a policy level discussion. So that's why we want to delete the old tag policy, because it's obsolete. Replacement policy on our student suicide awareness and prevention programs. Some more references to glass and a minor public works project purchasing policy change. So unless you had any questions, you could ask them now, or you could wait until next month or call me in between. So that is not an action item.
Okay. Any questions now? All right, number 3 and number 4 are both cash farm leases, one on 500 North and one on 500 South. And
That's Amanda.
Amanda,
Yes.
you can take that
Yeah,
one.
and you're welcome to take these as both at one time.
Okay.
The first recommendation on 500 North is the property known as County Farm. We had 2 respondents, and the respondent that I am recommending tonight is the Okos family, who owns the Prairie View Farms, and they proposed $275 per acre. They were much higher. I did speak with the other respondent, and they were not interested in going any higher. So that would be my recommendation is Prairie View Farms for 500 North. 500 South is the Carr property over by the health clinic. There are approximately 11 acres there. Larman Farms is the recommending farmer that I'm providing to you this evening at $240 an acre. So those would be my recommendations.
The county farmer didn't want to do it again. So that's why we went out to bid.
So with number 3 and 4, I think we can take them together, you said. So can we get a motion to approve those cash farm leases? Or a motion for the cash farm leases?
So moved.
Moved by Sondergrath,
Second.
second by Keckler. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Thank
Okay,
you.
both of those will pass. And then number 5 is resolution to fund temporary loan.
Yes, this evening I'm recommending that the school board adopt a temporary loan from our rainy day fund to our self-insurance fund in an amount not to exceed $3 million due to the timing of our new increased premiums as well as stop-loss insurance reimbursements that we have yet to receive. So it's a timing issue. We will need to loan funds from rainy day to the self-insurance fund to close the year without a negative balance. We are currently waiting on approximately $800,000 in stop-loss insurance reimbursements from United Healthcare. This loan will be paid back on or before June 30th of 2026.
Okay. Can we get a motion concerning the fund-to-fund transfer?
So moved.
Moved by Burton,
Second.
second by Harper. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, that will pass. And then number 6 is the real property authorization resolution, which would be.
Yep.
Mr. Denny.
Present, please. We spoke about these things briefly in the executive session. I've got 2 resolutions I recommend that you approve. The first relates to a public water line extension, excuse me. The southwest lot of McCutcheon, the former Carr property. It's going to cover the rest of the frontage of that road, and we're doing our best to make sure it doesn't interfere with our future plans of construction out there. I'm asking you to authorize Scott to complete the contract and sign it without further action from you, so that hopefully we can meet their year-end schedule for that easement agreement. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. They're going to pay cash and buy a strip easement along the frontage of our property. The second one is the Weaton real estate purchase. It's the vacant land that surrounds the Scholler office building that we purchased earlier. And we have a purchase agreement acceptable to both parties. Scott has signed it, and so has Steve Gloyeski on behalf of the seller. So I'm asking you, as we did in the past, to have you authorize, and then I'll have the 2 officers sign the agreement. It's a $1.4 million real estate purchase. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them. If not, I'm going to circulate these papers. When it says all, I need all of you. There's 4 pages like that. And then the purchase agreement, 2 more. Any questions?
Any questions? All right, with that, can we get a motion for the information as presented?
So moved.
Moved by Cummings,
Second.
second by Sondergrath. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, that will pass. With that, winter break is December 22nd to January 2nd. The next regular board work session will be January 14th, beginning at 4 here at this building. The board will hold its annual organizational meeting on January 14th at 6:30 at the TSC Elston Administration Building. The annual Board of Finance meeting will also be on January 14th at 6:35 p.m. here at the Elston Administration Building. And the next regular board meeting will be January 14th, beginning at 6:40 here at the same building. With that,